Hello, this is Rebecca, and today I'm back with finally a December daily flip through. This is for the 2017 year, and I have wanted to get it completed a lot sooner, but my son was sick, I was sick. I have my water bottle here in case I start having a coughing attack because my throat is so scratchy, but I am just so pleased to have this completed, and I know it's one of these that I did finally get done, and I'm very happy with it. And I wanted to show you guys a final flip through of the actual album. So as you can see, it is very thick and fluffy, and I'm probably going to take some ribbon and tie it around here and maybe put like a little tag that says December Daily 2017, one that can be opened, but just to keep it tucked and secure, that way it doesn't pop open and get damaged. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start. If you were familiar and watched some of my videos, you would see that when I did the cover page, and basically I started with the calendar in here. And then I just kind of started, this was a cutout from a Christmas card, and this was just a little wand that I made. But I always like to put a calendar at the beginning, just to kind of, you know, just to write some events in. This was the first page. This was our Advent. I did some journaling in here. This was really the second year without my son since he's in college, so that was kind of an interesting year. This is a little pocket. My intention was to put some of the receipts from my shopping trip. I actually went to the outlet mall, which was totally unusual for me. And I still may do that. I know where the receipts are, and I can just kind of tuck those in here. Excuse me, because sometimes it's good to keep up with, you know, just have memories of what was purchased. Then I have where we decorated the outside of the house with lights. And then this is just a part of the gratitude and just things that are coming up. Kind of a gratitude page. This was a page about the weather, and this was one of those little shaker journal cards that I made, and I just basically I stapled it in here just to secure it in there more. So we're talking about the weather. This has been really a crazy winter for us. We've had snow, we've had freezing days, several days in a row, so it's been very unusual for us Texans, at least the central Texas here. And then this was a page, actually, I think I did do a page on YouTube on how I created this page. And then this was a this is a waterfall, and basically this talks about the snow day that we had. Like I said, we had snow, which was highly unusual for us, so this was really exciting. And I did some journaling on the top for the picture below. And then this is just another little piece that was part of that junk journal. And this was the Cherrywood Art Fair that I was part of for 2 days, which was a great show. So I just showed the documentation there. And then this is a story about my son, especially being that he's a college kid. He's not here at home, so I don't have the daily stories that I would have. This was one that he called and told me about some towels that he was missing. I'm sorry, I'm going to take a drink just real quick here. Excuse me. I'm sorry, my voice is just, it's so scratchy, and it's just weather and being sick. But, so anyway, this was really actually pretty hilarious. I found it quite amusing because, and I'll kind of sum it up, but I had called him and I had said, you know, I'm so proud of you. You're taking initiative. Because he was studying really hard, and, you know, he calls me Mimi, so he says, you know, Mimi, I've been studying so hard, I'm sorry I haven't been able to contact you. So I was just telling him how proud I am of him, and he said, Mom, seriously, this is coming from a kid that's drying his hair with a white t-shirt. And I said, what happened to all the towels we bought you? He goes, well, they were taken. I had taken my laundry downstairs, and I left them there and went back up to my room, and all my towels were gone. And so this went on for about maybe 2 weeks. And I kept telling him to go by the Dollar General or Walmart, somewhere, and buy a towel. Buy a towel. And so he was just, every day I would be like, have you bought a towel yet? He's like, no, you know, and he has real thick hair. So anyway, then he said, then he called me and he goes, you're not going to believe this, but I went down there and my towels were all crumbled up. And this is the funny part. Well, for me, it was funny. He's like, in a pair of underwear. I'm like, okay, was the underwear yours? He said, yes, the underwear was mine. He goes, okay, I washed it. Anyway, he ended up washing everything, but I just thought that was the funniest story about the case of the missing towels, you know. So anyway, he did end up buying some during the duration of the missing towels and him finding it. But, so yeah, I just wanted to include that story in the college life story, especially since he's not at home and I don't have those day-to-day stories. So, and then this is my daughter. She went onto Pinterest and was looking at ways what to do when you're bored, and so one of the things was build a fort. And so she had this fort built for several days. And this was a morning I took her photo sleeping, and excuse me, I'm sorry about that. And so anyway, she slept in it for several days, and then I think one night she slept in her bed. She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go back to sleeping in my bed. So, and then this is basically a documentation of a prior event. So this was actually the tree. We did our tree trimming before December, and so this was just me documenting that day. And then I created this cute little tree out of buttons. I'll show you real close. Basically, I covered it in the back here, but I literally took a needle and sewed the different buttons on. I just think that turned out so cute. And so that was just kind of something fun that I did one evening. And then these are just part of that junk journal. These are the little different pieces of cardstock. And so I just included to cover up those sewing marks. This was a vintage postcard that I picked up at like a secondhand store. And then this little insert talked about my coffee bar. It was one of my favorite little decorations that I did this year. And so I talked about it. And then this was from Daphne's Diary. I just put that sticker on there. And then this little girl is actually cut from a old vintage Christmas card. And I included her with the picture. I love this view of our fireplace with our Christmas tree. And then I just kind of added some ephedra as part of that. And then the second page here, the other half is just one of the Tim Holtz little little black and white cutouts with some painted holly. And then this was the night that me and my daughter went caroling, and so I took a picture of us caroling, and then I wrote about it here. And that was really fun. And then this was our family Christmas, and this was something that I had created prior to the actual getting my journal ready, but I created this little, I knew we were going to be having several photos. So this is just a journal card pull out, kind of like an accordion, and on each one of these accordion pieces I cut out the little pictures, and then I documented about our family Christmas on there. And then you can tie it back, and it's kind of like an interactive journal, which is something that I like to have as well. So then I just tie it in there, and it's secured with all the little journaling and pictures. And then on this page is my cat Maggie, which if you followed me on Instagram, you knew that she had gone to the vet. I was terrified. I was all upset, but that she had something severely wrong with her, but she ended up being okay. And these were some little paper cutouts from the vet bag that we got, so I just kind of cut those out as part and told her a little story. And then these are like some of the wrapping paper that I used, and then I documented on the back you know, wrapping it up. So this was actually using the wrapping paper that I used to wrap the presents. And then this page is a memory page. This is me, my brother and sister visiting Santa, and so I like to include at least, you know, 1 or 2 pages of memories from the Christmas past in there. And this was one of the journal cards that I had made. And then We're on day 19. I used this cute little bingo card here from the paper pack. I think it was crepe paper. Excuse me. And then I just circled 19 for the actual date, and then I wrote in my daughter was sick that week. And then also to include my son, during the time he got his hair cut, he said, I'll send you a picture of it, which this is one of the shortest he's ever had it cut. So he was sending me photos of his picture of his haircut. Again, you know, wanting to keep him in my memory book, even though he's off at college. I basically took that picture and printed it, and then I wrote about him getting a new haircut. And you can also, you know, I thought about, just talking about what's going on with him and different things like that, just because, you know, I want to make sure I definitely include him in my story, even though he's not here day to day. And then we talk about cookies, because I'm always cooking cookies during Christmas, and so I actually did pretty good this year. I didn't go overboard. I didn't go too crazy is what I wrote in here. And this again is another one of those junk journal inserts, and I just added some little ephedra on there, and I included just a wreath, just kind of some decoration. And then we were going to do Tuba Christmas, but the weather ended up not being very good, and we stayed home. But I had given this cute shirt to my daughter that says, I play the tuba, what is your superpower? And I just kind of talk about our intentions that didn't quite happen. On the 23rd, we did some running around in town, and then we did the cookie crawl here in our hometown. And so I just basically printed the picture out, and I just stuck all four as I did it with the Christmas Eve. Now for Christmas Eve we did the candlelight service, and so I kind of have this as an envelope, and then I included the program from the church, and then I also wrote a little story about our Christmas Eve, which ended up being a little different than what I had originally planned, because my son ended up having mono, and it ended up being a very rough Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But I basically, this was not a picture of Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I just love the fireplace with all the Christmas at the top. This is one of my favorite views once we have a fire going. And then this was Christmas morning. I basically just kind of put the pictures together, documented our day, wrote about it. We did have some, you know, what we ate, our turkey, and some sweet rolls. I didn't take a lot of pictures because I ended up, you can tell I kind of really wrote about the day, but I ended up taking my son to the emergency room because he's running fever, and I just was so worried about him, but he ended up being okay. It just kind of put a kink in our Christmas, but you know what, like I said in here, it will be one Christmas that we will not forget. And again, I'm truly thankful that he was okay. You know, it wasn't serious enough to, you know, but just that I am blessed and so thankful that we do have the health that we do have. So, but yeah, that was it. That was it. It sums up our Christmas. Again, love this project, but I'm so happy that I have it completed, and I can move on with some new projects now. So, thanks for watching, and anyone that had watched the 12 Days of Christmas Journaling, I just still want to say thank you. It was so fun teaching that, and I hope to do something similar soon. So, I will see you in my next video.